Iran's attacks across the Gulf are not random retaliation. They reflect a calculated strategy to change who pays the price of war. After US and Israeli strikes inside Iran, Tehran chose not to respond only against Israel or distant American forces, but against the Gulf region itself, because this is where US military power actually operates. American bases, logistics hubs, energy routes, and diplomatic missions across Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and the UAE. Iran understands that pressure applied here travels directly back to US. Iran has also repeatedly relied on its proxies in the region to keep US bases under constant pressure with rockets and drones in Iraq and Syria, creating a steady drain on US attention and air defenses and political bandwidth. Iran is sending a clear message. Neutrality is no longer possible. The drone strike on the US Embassy compound in Riyadh reinforced this shift, showing that even diplomatic infrastructure linked to American power is now considered part of the battlefield. The deeper logic is strategic leverage. Iran cannot conventionally strike the US mainland, so it is targeting America's regional ecosystem instead. Gulf economies depend heavily on stability, aviation connectivity, tourism, and uninterrupted energy exports. When missiles fly over Dubai or airspaces close in Qatar and Kuwait, the damage is not only physical but psychological. Investor confidence weakens, insurance costs surge, flights divert, and global markets react instantly. Iran's calculation is that Gulf leaders, facing economic disruption at home, may pressure Washington to slow or end military escalation. There is also a layer of long-standing mistrust shaping Tehran's actions. While regional governments today deny lobbying for military confrontation and continue to publicly advocate de-escalation, Iranian leadership has long believed that while Gulf monarchies publicly call for de-escalation, many privately view Iran as their primary security threat and ultimately benefit from US military pressure on Tehran. That perception makes Gulf states, in Iran's view, indirect participants rather than neutral observers. As a result, Tehran is attempting to widen the conflict so that regional governments must openly choose sides instead of balancing between diplomacy and security dependence. Moreover, the consequences extend far beyond the Middle East, like the strikes on oil and gas infrastructure and disruptions around the Strait of Hormuz, through which a major chunk of global energy flows, have already shaken shipping and fuel markets worldwide. Gulf cities that built their global identity as safe economic hubs now face reputational risk, while prolonged instability threatens supply chains, aviation networks, and energy security across Europe and Asia. However, Iran's strategy carries a major gamble. It may ultimately be accelerating the formation of a more unified regional front against itself. For more such updates, please like, share, and subscribe the Geo Frontline.